The Witcher 3 insists upon itself, insists upon itself, insists upon itself, insists upon it. Mario's Mystery Meat is a ROM hack of Super Mario World that was recommended to me. I decided to do a little bit of research beforehand to find out what it was about because with a name like that, playing it without any prerequisite knowledge can't help but feel a little dangerous. So from what I read, I was able to determine two things. This hack is heavily inspired by Vinesauce lore, and it is intended to be funny in nature. That was a big thing I kept hearing. This is a funny ROM hack. Then I booted it up. Okay, so it turns out this is actually the scariest ROM hack ever made. Now, if you don't know who or what a Vinesauce is, they are a small niche underground YouTube conglomerate thingy with barely 3 billion subscribers across a bunch of different channels owned by different people, I think. And they've been doing all kinds of stuff for years. I feel obligated to say up front that I have not watched many of any of these guys' videos at all, although I do remember learning about where babies come from. In case you don't know, when a paisano puts his spaghetti noodle in a Mamma Mia's ravioli, a little bambino covered in prosciutto comes out about 9 months later. But otherwise, I'm not particularly familiar with the seemingly extensive lore of the Vinesauce Cinematic Universe, or VCU if you will. So what you're about to see is the perspective of a confused and terrified man who cannot begin to comprehend what he is looking at. So if that's what you're looking for, welcome to the jungle, baby. You're gonna die. Mario's Mystery Meat follows Sponge, the forgotten third Mario brother, who is on a quest to find the mystery meat for Mario and Luigi's pasta because they don't have time to get it on their own. But things go amiss as he is dragged through every single alternate dimension known to mankind and is subjected to horrors beyond the imagination of any mere mortal. Before I get into the game, I gotta pay some big respect to the visuals. This ROM hack utilizes the Super Nintendo's graphical capabilities in remarkable ways that go beyond what vanilla Mario World tends to do. You got these sprites that are fucking terrifying but remarkably detailed. There's this Lovecraftian hell bastard with transparency effects. There are all kinds of NPCs with really smooth animations. The backgrounds can be very beautiful and detailed, or sometimes really trippy and disturbing. There's this ripple effect that the game loves using, or sometimes the entire world is just Will Smith.
Rewind time.
After playing this level, I don't think I'm ever going to be comfortable watching Fresh Prince ever again. This brings us to the big thing, the difficulty. When you start out the game, the difficulty is slightly higher than you might expect from Super Mario World. There are a bunch of enemies jumping all over the place and your mobility is limited by the fact that you had to carry this block, but it's entirely doable. As you go on though, this becomes less true. The game will present you with more and more difficult challenges as it goes along, which makes sense, but some of these parts are just fucking bonkers, dude. This isn't on the level of that Hitler-worthy Yoshi ROM hack I played a half a year ago, but it's still pretty nuts if you're not bringing your A game. I was very thankful for the cape when I got it, which just let me fly over half of the level when things got way too intense. But not nearly as thankful as I was for the infinite lives. ROM hacks like this love to be challenging and difficult, but when the game's core selling point is the humor and the offbeat overabundance of meme shit and seeing what weird jokes it has to offer, it's important to keep that in mind to avoid losing focus, which is why it's great that there's infinite lives. All of the funny stuff that makes this game great would lose its punch if I had to play the game all over again because I fucked up some extremely difficult challenge. Despite the infinite lives, however, this game is still insane. There's these levels with all the disappearing platformers, these weirdo thwomps coming at you from all direction, spikes, spike balls. And then there's this level. Don't even get me going on this one. I actually believe this game gave me fucking Terminal 7 brain cancer with this level. I don't know what that means, but it's really bad. Not only is this level upside down and the controls are all cocked up, but there's a billion different hitboxes and next to no safe areas. Actually, no, there's literally no safe areas because if you idle too long, this stupid fish jumps at you from off screen and tries to eat you. This level is where all of my worst fears with respect to ROM hacks all churn and accumulate into something I consider horrifying. Then you go underground and fucking Vinny's Meat starts singing the I Love Beijing Tiananmen loop from Hong Kong 97. Whenever a weirdo game like this comes to light and people talk about it, there always comes a moment where the critic dude says some shit like, maybe this game is secretly a masterpiece and is a metaphor for something far beyond our understanding, kinda like what I did with B3313. But honestly, I'm at a loss here. The best interpretation I can give is that this is what hell looks like, specifically my own hell. Between the ROM hack level difficulty bumps and the really bizarre imagery that I don't understand the significance of, it's like some kind of psychological trick designed to mess with my head. Hell consists largely of dead people, so no living person knows what it really looks like, but we've seen a lot of interpretations over the years. The classic vast fire pit, there's the Doom interpretation. Some believe it's just a state of being where you're as isolated from God and Jesus as possible. Some believe it's full of gay spiders. I'd like to think that's what it is, but I'm terrified that it actually looks like this ROM hack. Now, all of that aside, I do have to say this is a good ROM hack. When it's not being a dickhead, bastard, moron, penis face, it actually is pretty engaging and fun to play. Not to mention how incredibly ambitious it is for a Super Mario World hack. It even has a remarkable variety of gameplay. There's shooter sections, there's frickin' RPG sections made to look like Earthbound, it's really something. You even got point and click sections. This is why I play video games. Every level is unique and it usually makes sure that one joke doesn't overstay its welcome. As long as you're playing well and maybe using save states, you will experience one of the weirdest things ROM hacking has to offer. I still maintain that B3313 is the weirdest shit I've ever played, owing mostly to the lack of a concrete narrative, but this one is up there. It's got nice graphics, outlandishly insane humor, and good music. Do I recommend this game? Yeah, I think so. Just remember to have patience and maybe don't be afraid of using save states, and if you're old enough to drink, maybe try playing it while drunk. That might enhance the experience. I don't know, I'm too afraid to try it, but if you're brave enough, tell me what it was like. Otherwise, that's gonna be it for today. Can you guess what tomorrow's present is? I won't give it away, but with all that's going on, hopefully I'll be able to get it out in time.